Welcome to another episode of Hitting Marta, but this really isn't so hidden at all. This is the old Tucker North Dekalb line. It's almost common knowledge in terms of the internet, but a lot of people might not know. So let me put a little background. This is a 1971 picture imagining a Marta. Now I want you to look at the eastbound route and see a very pale line emanating just before east just before East Lake Marta Station. You'll see a pale line on the east side, and it's going up, not down. It's going up. That was the Tucker North DeKalb line as envisioned in 1971. Now, for a more clearer version in the 80s and the 90s, um, here we are. We see that it accesses Emory as well as North Druid Hills. So this is so much clearer, right? So this is the Tucker North DeKalb line as it was envisioned through the ages, but it was never built. Now, if you want to know where it is, well, here is this spur. So just before you hit the bridge that goes to East Lake Marta Station, well, just before you hit that bridge, you'll see a stub going out of your, let me see, your right window if you're going eastbound, that is. Um, I believe so anyway, but you'll see this stub line. Now, that line was supposed to become the Tucker North DeKalb Road, the Tucker North DeKalb Rail, which means there was supposed to be another line going northeast or whatever. But only this line was built, and as you see, it goes nowhere. So this particular stub, and there was supposed to be two of them, was supposed to go. Okay, so the area that you see, this is just after the scene that we just saw. The area that you see here shaded in purple probably was supposed to be the rail lines as they would have went down, right? As they would have decreased in elevation. And what you see in red represents it being level with the ground. Now, if you look down at the MARTA train at the exact moment, you'll see concrete. And here in this picture, you're not going to really see it, but it's some discoloration just south of the trees near that dotted red line that I have. You can barely see it, but it's there. And if you look down from the MARTA train, you'll see that flat concrete type of area, right? So purple is going to be decreasing in elevation from the scene that we just saw. Red, you can see the discoloration here and from the train, okay? And this is a picture courtesy of Flickr and I believe Marta or whatever. This is pretty much the longest of the Tucker North DeKalb line that was built, which is barely anything. And don't ask me where this is. I mean, I don't think it's been fenced off. Marta probably doesn't want people trespassing, but I mean, obviously, Google Maps, if you want to know where it is, it's not difficult based on the previous thing that I saw. But this is pretty much the longest of the rail. As you see, those rubber things were supposed to carry the electricity to the third rail underneath the train tracks. And you see the pre-pavement before, of course, they would have put gravel and then the railroad concrete binds and then the rail. So, this is the longest, which really isn't that long at all. And this is another picture before you go into the tunnel. As you see, the elevation of the wall gets higher as everything else gets lower there. And here's what's briefly behind the first two pictures. So you have to come through a lot of forests, as you see right here. We got the graffiti on fleek, and we see the middle walkway where people, MARTA workers, were supposed to walk to service the track, had it ever been built. But yeah, you got to get through some forest to get to it. And here we have the tunnel. It's boarded up, right? So you don't have access to it. And I thought I switched the pictures. But anyway, here is inside the tunnel. As you see, it's approximately, I believe they said it's 200 feet long. So not long at all, basically. This looks like a good. Maybe they could donate one of the Marta trains, right? When we get the new Marta trains in, maybe they could donate one here, and you could turn it into a Marta club. I don't know. It just seems like a very groovy idea, right? I actually suggested a couple friends. We went somewhere else to the old Atlanta uh, penitentiary farm, and I was like, we can go here, and but people weren't in the idea. But anyway, this is fenced off, so you don't have access to this anyway. And yeah, this is the tunnel right here, at 200 feet. As you see the graffiti, probably 1980s, 1990s graffiti. Okay, and that was basically my easy content of the Tucker North Dekalb line, because it's everywhere on Flickr and such, and that's what would have been built. But again, it was another thing canceled by Marta. But the spokesman for Marta actually says that the tunnel is ready to go and for expansion. But from that location, there's so many homes and businesses. It doesn't look like there will ever be another expansion again. So welcome to another episode of Hidden Marta. We're out.